Welcome back now. A march is underway in central London today that's calling on the next government to do more to support biodiversity in the UK. Sky's Sadia Chowdhury is there with marchers. And the reason behind this, Sadia, is because as a country, our biodiversity, well, is really lacking compared to other places.
Yeah, there's a recent stat that I saw that says that we've got about 53% of our biodiversity remaining here in the UK, and that's quite an alarming statistic, and that's really what people here are talking about. They've got a very simple demand, and that is to put nature and climate as a higher priority in the run-up to this election, but also for any new potential government to look into. I'm joined now by Craig Bennett from the Wildlife Trust. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Talk to us a bit about what today's about.
Well, it's an amazing gathering. Tens of thousands of people coming across from the UK to say that simple message: we need to restore nature now. Because the fact is, the UK is one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world. In just the last 50 years, we've lost so much of our wildlife. Huge declines in our insects, for example, huge declines in our farmland birds, and of course now polluted rivers and all of that. And what we're all saying, tens of thousands of people coming across the country, is we're saying the next government needs to move really fast on restoring nature. And that's essential for our economy, it's essential for our health, it's essential for our livelihoods and for our future. It's as simple as that.
How do you restore nature?
Well, we know how to do it. That's the thing. We have to make more space for nature, and actually the UK has signed up to international targets to get 30% of our land, inland waters and sea in recovery for nature by 2030, 6 years away. But we're only at about 3% at the moment, so we've got to move really fast on that. We need to get nature working again, things like making sure our wetlands are wet and novel ideas like that so that they can function, reintroducing missing species like beavers that are just such brilliant ecosystem engineers, and also just like making sure that we can connect all of that as well so that it actually is a fully functioning landscape. And people want it. Britain is a country of nature lovers, and the people are way ahead of politicians on this issue. The Wildlife Trust just a few weeks ago did an opinion poll with Savanta that showed that 79% of the British population recognise the importance for nature, for the economy and for their health. But they're way ahead where the politicians are on this.
Well, talk to us about why right now is so important. We've got a general election coming up, but in terms of the state of the nature that we have around us, why is now so important?
Because it's the next 5 years that really matter. I mean, scientists have been telling us on the climate crisis that what matters in the next 5 years is what really matters, and a lot of our targets for cutting carbon over the next 5 years. Similarly, on the nature crisis, you know, scientists have said it's the next 5 years that are absolutely crucial for restoring that. And we've enthusiastically, as the UK, signed up to these international agreements to do this. But that means it's a lifetime of the next Parliament and therefore the next government that's got to turn this round. And I always say, you know, imagine if we were hosting something like the London Olympics in 2030. You know, we'd be really clear. We'd have these really clear project plans about how to build the infrastructure in time, build the venues. And if we got behind on one of those, you know, you can be really sure that politicians across the political spectrum would intervene to say, we've got to move faster, this is a matter of national pride, we've got to deliver this. Well, it needs to be exactly the same with rebuilding our natural infrastructure. We need an absolute focus on this over the next 5 years to do this and to meet these. And because everything else that's been talked about in the general election, cost of living, houses, water and all of those things, food and so on, you can't do any of that unless it's on the foundation of nature. You've got to restore nature if you're going to have the things in life that people really matter.
Amazing. Craig, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Love to speak to you,
Good luck the rest of the day. They're expecting about 50,000 people to be at this demonstration today. We can't see the back of it, but I can show you what the front looks like. You've got celebrities among them, Emma Thompson, the actress, and then Chris Packham there as well, just at the front there. And they are talking about this being a climate emergency, and the name of this protest is to restore nature now. And as I say, they have a very simple demand. They want climate and nature to be a higher priority, not just in the run-up to the election, but afterwards as well.
Sadia, thanks very much.